Jason Singh, welcome to noise11.com. Monstr! We're talking monsters!
All right. Thanks for having me back on, bud. Good to see you again.
Yeah, so Monstr is the new project.
Monstr is a new project that I'm involved in. It's sort of an all-star group of other like-minded musicians. There's myself from Taxiride on lead vocals, Jimi Hocking from the Screaming Jets on lead guitar, Stu Rudd from the Superjesus on bass, and Pete Drummond from Dragon on drums. I've had this concept kicking around for a while, and I've approached Pete Drummond and said, do you want to do something together? And he loved the idea of doing it. It's the best of the MTV Unplugged series, or from that great era of 90s MTV Unplugged shows that we're on. And he loved it. And we started sort of calling people and then narrowed it down and got Jimmy and Stu to jump on board, and that was it. We started going, okay, let's go out and learn this great song list and do some shows together, play some music together.
Well, not only you with your Taxiride days, but I guess, Stu with his Superjesus days, Jimmy with the Screaming Jets, Pete Dragon. Every one of those bands has been played on MTV. So will you be throwing your own songs in to the show as you go?
Oh, look, I think that just getting this first sort of stuff out the way and getting together and just starting to feel each other's sound out definitely could end up doing something like that. I think we'll see how everyone likes that MTV Unplugged sound at these shows, and I think so far it's sounding really good. But we're literally all just rehearsing separately, and we'll come together in a couple of weeks to blend it all together. But we could unplug something, or who knows? You never know. It could progress, and if it all goes well, we'll keep doing shows and keep coming up with different ideas, I guess.
Is the set list mirroring the artists who actually did Unplugged?
Yes. Well, Unplugged started like in the early 90s and went all the way through to about 2018, even though it was the most popular in the mid to late 90s. And there's just so much material. Like there's hundreds of different acts that did it. Obvious ones, Nirvana and Alanis Morissette, Pearl Jam, Eric Clapton. I mean, there's a bunch of really popular albums. Even Mariah Carey, that MTV Unplugged album she put out was absolutely incredible back then. So yes, it will be as close to those recordings as we can get it.
And you have done a version of Eric Clapton's Tears in Heaven. Will this be for commercial release? Is everybody going to get to hear this streaming?
Well, I hope so. I mean, it was just a good way for us to go, why don't we start recording a couple of things? Because we literally haven't even been in the same room yet. And I've always loved that Tears in Heaven version that he did on the Unplugged. And it sort of really sets the tone and the standard for what it's, how special I think these shows are going to be. And I've always just found that song to be like extremely emotional. And as a parent, it's what it's written about is such an incredible story. So I just suggested, do you want to start recording some stuff? And then Jimmy put the acoustic guitars down and sent it over, and we just all did our bits, and Pete mixed and mastered it, and it sounds unreal. So we're going to put it out this Friday, actually.
Wow, because Eric Clapton Unplugged is probably one of the, well, if not near the best, it would be the best of the Eric albums, and also the MTV Unplugged albums.
And it's funny, like some of those versions, like the version that he did of Tears in Heaven and Layla, they end up sort of becoming even more popular than the original versions, if you know what I mean. And that happened to a few of the acts along the way, I believe, the version that Nirvana did of About a Girl, which was off their first album, and not many people had that. Then it made it a big hit again. Everyone knew that version. So, yeah, I mean, it's testament to how good the song list is. The song list is fantastic. I can't wait to play it.
There were artists like Paul McCartney, for instance, who did the MTV Unplugged. And, imagine going back to your Beatles catalogue and then reinventing the wheel 30 years later. That must have been bizarre for him.
Well, I mean, he sort of goes into some of his influences as well, and he plays some really old sort of skiffle stuff and, all that early stuff that sort of turned Paul McCartney into the Beatles, I guess. So his version is obviously it's McCartney. You just listen in awe of the whole thing. But yeah, there's some incredibly diverse stuff that we get to play. I mean, we're going to do obviously the Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains, Stone Temple Pilots, that sort of grungy era. But then there's also Bryan Adams, Paul McCartney, Eric Clapton, and a whole bunch of sort of older scholars as well. So yeah, we get to just play a bit of everything. It's going to be super fun.
I think one of the highlights for me with the Nirvana was when they did David Bowie's "The Man Who Sold the World."
It's on the set list, so you'll have to come and see that.
I shall be there.
Yeah, well, we've
Yeah.
got a couple of shows now that are in the diary, and we're just, starting in our hometown of Melbourne. Obviously, Stu's from Adelaide, so we'll fly him in, and we'll try and do a few good shows here in Melbourne, and then hope to spread its wings and fly Monster all over the country. I think there'll be a lot of people that would be into it, and people my age, younger and older, would all know about that sort of genre of music. So it was its own real genre inside the 90s as well. I think 90s and 2000s, it became a thing. And we're here to remind everyone how good it was.
And it's not the only thing you're doing. There's so many more shows from you coming up throughout the year, and you'll be back out with Pete Drummond again in Queensland not long after that for the Angels, Dragon, and Jason Singh doing Taxiride.
Yeah, that's right. I've got a few festivals with my Taxiride show. We're doing Sounds of Rock in Hervey Bay and Townsville. We're doing the Trilogy of Rock with Dragon and the Angels, and there's a whole bunch more coming up. We're doing yeah, it's just so lovely to be so busy again. I've got all these different bands and things that I'm a part of, and yeah, it's just filling my life up with music again, which is a great place to be.
The Voices Supergroup, what's that all about?
The Voices. Well, you've done your research, haven't you? The Voices is a band that I started about 10 years ago, and it sort of started with a small crew and myself and Dale Ryder from Boom Crash Opera and Mark Gable from the Choir Boys, and it was again just about collecting, your peers together and celebrating their catalogue together. So we do a lot of Voices Supergroup shows at festivals and events and things like that, special events where we all come together and sing our hit songs together. So I've got, Dave Gleason from Screaming Jets. I've got Ray from Thirsty Merc, Rob Mills. There's a massive list of the people that the clients and the festivals and stuff can draw from. So it's just another way to celebrate each other's great achievements in the Australian music business. And you don't have to go into all your deep cuts. You just sing the hits and then celebrate your friends' hits as well. It's a good way to be.
Okay, so Monstr, that's the one coming up, August 15, Memo Music
And
Hall.
there's actually a second show now. Do you want to talk? Can I tell you about that one as well?
Oh, look, let's just, like here I am saying one night only, and all along there's been two.
Very hard to get a hold of, Paul Cashmere. So I've got to give you all the information that I can possibly give in one interview. But Brunswick Ballroom, if you're around 31st of October. But what you can do is just go to jasonsing.com.au or my social media stuff. I am Jason Singh, and there's all the dates of all the different bands that I'm doing and stuff all there. So
That makes it easy.
I'll shut up now. You can talk.
I think we're done. Good to talk to you, Jason.
Always great talking to you too, brother. Thank you.